Now, the South African government has expressed its concern about the $5.2 billion fine imposed on MTN by the Nigerian communications regulator. Now, the South African minister in the presidency, Jeff Radebe, however, said that the fine would not affect relations between the continent's two biggest economies. The Nigerian Communications Commission said in October that all telcos except MTN had complied with the directive first issued in August, instructing them at the time to disconnect any unregistered subscribers or risk a fine of 200,000 naira. That translates to roughly $1,000 per SIM card. MTN at the time failed to disconnect 5.1 million subscribers between August and September. Nigeria is MTN's biggest single market, and authorities there want all mobile phone subscribers to be registered in order to make it a lot easier to crack down on any criminal activity. It has emerged that some Boko Haram insurgents have been using unregistered SIM cards as part of their operations. Now then, Sophia Dengo is live in Abuja with more data and what's turning out to be a very interesting continental tiff. Sophia, we've seen MTN slapped to this $5.2 billion fine. Before that, Standard Bank subsidiary in Nigeria was also fined by the FRC, the Financial Reporting Council, over the quality of its reports. What has inspired this new, stricter oversight by Nigerian regulators?
Well, you know, Rama, this is not the first time MTN has been slapped with a fine from the Nigerian Communications Commission. The first time was in January of 2014 when MTN was accused of, really having low performance indicators. In this case, though, the tide has turned for MTN because MTN was given ample time to register an outstanding 5.2 million registered. Well, they needed to be registered. They were subscribed, but they needed to be registered. And that is the big bone of contention right now with the Nigerian government, is that MTN left it too long. And, Nigeria at the time was not dealing with the situation that they're dealing with now. Times have indeed changed, especially on the business front. And I'll tell you why. Nigeria is faced with an insurmountable uphill battle of fighting an Islamic affiliated terrorist group in their country, and having outstanding 5.2 million outstanding SIM cards that are unregistered to users is a major concern from a security standpoint. And this is why we have seen the Nigerian Communications Council coming down so hard onto MTN.
Indeed.
Rama?
We've also seen MTN and NCC keep communications around their talks being very, very tightly controlled with very limited public updates. Why is that?
Well, Rama, as you alluded to earlier, this is turned from, big business in Nigeria to more of a counterterrorism intel issue, because of course, MTN could not have anticipated that they coming to do business in Nigeria would have, gone so wrong in many ways. 5.2 million outstanding unregistered users really implies that they have not, MTN as a group, not been paying attention to some of the numbers. And, the Nigerian Communications Council, as we spoke to the Public Affairs Director earlier today, said that, it is vitally important for anybody doing business, if they're coming in as a massive investor, as MTN has, to pay attention to the rules and regulations that are placed by the Nigerian government, whichever regulatory body that may be. But going forward, it's not all downhill for MTN here in Nigeria. MTN has gone ahead and renewed their licensing for the next 5 years. They've been given permission to go ahead and provide their services over the next 5 years. It's this massive hurdle that they'll have to overcome in terms of either reducing the fine that has been levied on them by the NCC or finding common ground in terms of negotiation and moving forward from this problem. Rama.
Indeed. We'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you for the update. That's Sophia Dengo live in Abuja.